There's one really important thing that I think anyone considering selling their home should do, but almost no one does, and that's this: interview multiple realtors for the job. Now, you may have a family member or a very close friend who's a realtor, or you may know somebody who went through the sale of their home recently and they had a really good experience with the person that they worked with, so you may be inclined to just call that person and work with them directly. But the best thing that you can do as a consumer is to induce competition. Even if your sister or your best friend is a realtor, considering interviewing or letting them know that they're going to interview, again, will keep them on their toes. Now, I say this as a realtor, somebody who having competition for a potential listing is not certainly in my best interest, but I think it's long overdue that realtors encourage the general public to do what's in their best interest and not in what's the best interest of the realtor themselves. Now, there are many reasons why I think you should interview multiple people for the job of selling your home, but I'm going to give you the top 3 reasons why, presented in no particular order. Reason number 1. Get the best idea of price. Now, a number of episodes ago, I talked about how some realtors try and buy the listing. That means that they tell you an inflated number, what they think your property is worth and what it might actually be. But if you interview 2 or 3 realtors, then that will eliminate that problem, because you'll have one person saying your place is worth $950,000 and 2 other people telling you that it's really worth $875,000 or something closer to $9,000. So you can kind of weed that issue out. The other thing is that it's really, really important to get the pricing right for your property, because overpricing is about the worst thing you can do, or one of the worst things that you can do that can affect the sale of your home and how long it sits on the market and how it's viewed by potential buyers as well. Reason number 2, you'll get the best marketing plan. Now, if you're interviewing, you should let the realtors know that you're interviewing and that they are going to be competing against other people for the job. And that will cause them to bring their A game in terms of how they're going to market your property. We see too often in the market really poopy photos and a really poor marketing job of houses. You'll see photos that are taken by a cell phone camera, they're sideways, they're upside down, they're just poor quality photos. And that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg in terms of how bad a marketing plan can sometimes be. So if you're interviewing people, it'll cause them to step their game up in terms of what their marketing plan will be for your home. And so that you won't just get, even if it's just quality photos and then they're put on MLS and that's it. You want a little bit more than that. Buyers are savvy these days, and you want to put your home in the best light in front of those potential buyers for your home. Reason number 3. You'll get the best fit. So what I mean by that, because that can take a number of different meanings, but ultimately you're going to have to work fairly closely with the person you're going to hire to sell your home for a number of weeks, if not longer, depending on what happens. And if there's a clash of personalities, if you don't like the person that you've hired, then there's going to be a breakdown in the relationship. And if you need to be told things that are maybe hard truths to hear about how your home might present, or what the best things that are needed to be done in order to achieve the best result for the sale. If those things are difficult to hear, and there's not a good relationship between the sellers and the listing agent, then there's going to be big problems. So I really think it's important that you actually like the person that you're working with, and that gut instinct, that gut feel that you get when you meet people, I think is really important. You also want to get a sense for how the person that you ultimately hire, how they communicate, how effectively they communicate, and if they are going to provide you with the type of service and the level of service that you feel that you need. So as I mentioned before, I think there are a lot of different reasons why you should interview multiple people, but those are my top 3 reasons. And have a look for the next video where I walk you through my top interview questions, so that if you get to the point where you actually are ready to interview, I'll give you an idea as to what types of questions I think you should be asking. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.